Hey everybody, out here with our little buddy Walter, and what we are going to talk about is leash pressure. So I actually had a client ask me to do a video on this, and so I've had a few people ask me about it, so let's talk about it. So what is leash pressure? Leash pressure is the concept of teaching the dog how to turn pressure off on the leash. So we've all seen the dogs. In fact, if you look at the dog on my sign there pulling the person, right? Dogs need to be taught how to understand how to turn that pressure off. So when they feel pressure on this leash, if I put this on Walter here, I've got the slip lead on him. If he starts going this way and he feels pressure, I want to hold that pressure until he turns it off by yielding to the leash. So Walter goes that way. I practice going the other direction. I don't pull and yank. I apply pressure until he turns that off and comes to me. I can reward him for that. So if he starts going this way, I apply pressure, he turns and moves, yay, I say good job, and I give him a reward. Again, pressure on, he yields, turns, comes, reward. So initially in this process of teaching the dog the leash pressure, I do not care if the dog turns and comes all the way to me. All I want is to apply pressure, the dog moves, maybe that much, and I relax the leash and I say, good job. And we do that over and over, and usually it doesn't take too long, but I apply that pressure over and over till the dog moves a little bit, I relax the leash, I give in, I let the leash go back to the dog, and they go, wow, that was cool, I turned the pressure off by moving towards you. Way to go. Good job. So let's do that again. I'm walking, the dog goes that way, I stop, apply pressure, the dog relaxes, turns that pressure off, and then I give in to the leash. And then I move away. And the dog starts coming towards me and say, good job. So oftentimes people think about trying to do this outside of a training setting initially. And you can, it's possible if you're going for a walk and you just stop and your dog's out in front of you, you hold the leash. I prefer to do it in a distraction-free environment to teach the dog how to turn that pressure off on the leash. So we can use a slip leash like this. We could use a prong collar if we need to. I'm not opposed to using any tool as long as it's fair to the dog. And what I mean by fair is that I'm not choking the dog with the leash. I'm not pressuring the dog in any way to turn that pressure off other than a little bit of tension in the leash. The dog turns it off and moves towards me. That's it. That's what it's about. So then as we move forward in training with dogs that want to use an e-collar, like Kirby, who I just pointed to over here, then we use the e-collar as a way to apply pressure remotely. It's an extension of the leash. So if I'm asking Kirby to get up on this place board, I'm going to push the button down. He's going to feel tickling. He's going to feel a sensation. He's going to learn to turn that pressure off by yielding to the leash or going to a place board, for example. So I'm going to work Kirby on that here in just a little bit. But that's a really short summary on what leash pressure is all about. You hear me talk about it all the time when you see me out in the parking lot doing the driveway drills with the dogs where I'm stopping, they're turning and moving, and I'm going the other way. That's all we're doing is teaching them how to turn that pressure off. If you have a dog that's walking and choking themselves, stop taking them for a walk, spend a little bit of time practicing leash pressure with them and teaching them how to turn that pressure off. It could be done on a flat buckle collar, but it's usually best taught on a prong collar or a slip leash. But that's a quick summary. Hopefully that provides a little more guidance around how we're teaching this and why we teach it, because it becomes a very, very important tool to have for your dog, because then your dog becomes very, very light on the leash. I apply the slightest amount of pressure, the dog goes, I know what to do, I know how to turn that off, and they turn and they move with us. So then it becomes very useful for dogs that are reactive, or a dog sees a bunny, they want to go get that bunny. Well, they feel the slightest amount of pressure and they go, I've practiced turning this off and yielding and coming towards you so many times that that's what I know I'm supposed to do. And then they do it. So keep those things in mind. If you got a dog that pulls you, practice leash pressure work. Teach them how to turn that pressure off. And that is how you can walk, as my daughter can, a 6-year-old can walk a 110-pound Great Dane. That dog understands leash pressure. The dog knows if I feel that tension, I have to follow the leash, and then the pressure turns right off. Anyway, that's a quick intro to leash pressure. That's Walter. See ya.